Naruto: The World Within the Spiral is a new one-shot story written by the creator of Naruto, Masashi Kishimoto, and is a result of the Naruto Top 99 popularity poll that was run late last year. Having gotten the most votes, the 4th Hokage Minato Namikaze would be the center of the new one-shot story, with it focusing on his earlier years in the Hidden Leaf Village before Naruto was born. The premise would be about Minato developing a new jutsu for the first time. This generated a lot of hype beforehand, and rightly so, as Minato is one of the most diverse shinobi in the series. Many other characters have mentioned the legendary feats the yellow flash of the leaf was capable of, so seeing the formation of one of his jutsu would be nothing short of exciting. The story begins during the 3rd Great Ninja War with Team Jiraiya in a standoff between two Jinchuriki that have already taken on Tailed Beast mode. Being outmatched, Jiraiya tells Minato to teleport their team away using the Flying Raijin jutsu. This was a great way to start off the story because it gave us an idea of when it was set, and we finally got to see where Minato first encountered the Tailed Beast Bomb, which he later used for inspiration to create the Rasengan. We then see Kushina inside the Hidden Leaf Village, where she's under the guard of two Anbu shinobi. Being the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, it's no surprise that Kushina had little to no freedom, as we saw for other Jinchuriki. Even though Kushina is a lot younger here, she definitely still has that feisty spirit that we saw when we were introduced to her before. She even brings up the Uzumaki sealing jutsu that she knows, which is something that I was actually looking forward to, because she mentioned to Naruto beforehand that she had taught Minato these type of jutsu, so it was nice to see that being brought up here. And there was even a cameo from Obito here, which made me really happy, even if it was really small and only for one shot. Minato tells her that he's actually going to be working on a different type of jutsu for that day, and I gotta admit, it was a little scary seeing how intimidating Kushina was here. There's a really strong emphasis on how limited she is, and that she can't even stray that far because of the barrier that's put upon her to try to suppress the Nine Tails. Naruto was treated as an outcast for having the Nine Tails inside of him, and it really made his early life miserable, as we all have seen, so I'm sure Kushina must have felt this way as well, and I'm sure the villagers must have treated her badly alongside this. The only real difference that I can see here is that Naruto wasn't as limited in his freedom like Kushina is. It doesn't seem like she's able to do much other than train or be kept under guard, and I doubt they let her go on missions whatsoever. It really was sad to see how Kushina had to live as a Jinchuriki, especially seeing how Naruto would have to struggle later on as well. We're given a glimpse into Kushina's past, where it's shown to us her preparing to become the Nine Tails Jinchuriki and receiving guidance from the first Hokage's wife, Mito. Now, we actually saw some of this before when Kushina told Naruto that she was the Nine Tails Jinchuriki before him. Lady Mito tries to offer Kushina some guidance, which will help her bear the burden of being a Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Being of the Uzumaki clan, they both share the same lineage, and as such, Lady Mito takes her to a place that's special to the Uzumaki clan. There they go up a spiral staircase, which Lady Mito refers to as a Rasen, or a helix, which she compares to the swirl of the Uzumaki clan symbol. Now, when I first read this, I didn't know that this was going to have an impact on the story, but it actually does later on. Once they're at the top, they have a view of the village and the stone monuments of the Hokage. Being Hashirama's wife, Lady Mito explains that she was able to hear the burden of being the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails by filling herself with love, and told Kushina if she's able to do the same, she can still live a happy life as a Jinchuriki. This was a really nice callback to the same type of advice that was given to Killer Bee when he was becoming the Eight Tails Jinchuriki. It's pretty obvious that thanks to Lady Mito's guidance that Kushina was able to keep the Nine Tails in check for so long, leading up to the birth of Naruto. We then switch back to Minato and Jiraiya training together, and we see the new jutsu that Minato is trying to develop, and no surprise, of course, it's the Rasengan. The nostalgia here for me was incredible because it felt just like when Jiraiya was training Naruto how to use the Rasengan, except Minato was actually inventing it here. Just like how Naruto needed to spend his chakra in the direction that it naturally flowed, which Jiraiya said could be told by his hair direction, we see him telling Minato the same thing. Unexpectedly, however, Minato's chakra flows in both directions, or at least that's what his hair suggests, which was kind of funny, and Jiraiya even states this could be a sign that he's a genius. We get a great throwback to Naruto and Jiraiya's relationship when we see him and Minato sharing an ice pop together, and being as intelligent as he is, Minato figures out that he needs to flow his chakra in both directions. So not only do we get to see the first ever Rasengan, but the first ever name that Minato gave it as well. The Ice Pop inspired Nimbus Jiraiya Twin World Sphere, which even Jiraiya said was not the right name for this jutsu. And this of course was a nod back to when we saw in the 4th grade Ninja War that Minato gives his jutsu some pretty convoluted names at times. This did however really intrigue me because I was wondering how the Rasengan ended up getting its actual name, and I was still excited to see how that would come to be. Jiraiya then leaves and we see Kushina come to talk to Minato, and she mentions seeing him work on the new jutsu. Minato explains that he's trying to create this new jutsu for Kushina to try and protect her if she gets sent out during the war, and if she even ends up having to go up against other Jinchuriki. This is really sweet to see of course, and it would have been amazing if Kushina was able to use the Rasengan in connection with her own chakra. However, the strong emotions that she's feeling in this moment, alongside the Nine Tails trying to break free, causes Kushina to undergo Tailed Beast transformation. She begins to turn into the Nine Tails cloak that we've seen so many times from Naruto. After damaging Minato from this, she begins to transform even faster, and she tries to remember what Mito told her about filling herself with love to try and overcome the Nine Tails' hatred, but he's just too strong for her. Even Minato was struggling to keep her in control, but says that they could fight the Nine Tails together, and we see the two of them battle the Nine Tails inside of Kushina's conscience. This scene was done so well, with Kushina showing off her jutsu sealing prowess and it almost mirroring the same battle that Naruto would have in the future against the Nine Tails when he would try to harness its power. Together they're able to suppress the Nine Tails, and shortly after Minato wakes up inside of a hospital with Tsunade and Jiraiya both there, likely being Tsunade the one that healed him, and I'm honestly surprised at how quickly Minato recovered considering that Kushina nearly killed him while she was transforming into the Nine Tails. She then asks Minato about the jutsu he is developing, as it looked similar to the chakra sphere that Nine Tails tried to use against them in their battle. Minato explains that he based the jutsu on the Tailed Beast Palm and told her the name he came up with. Just like Jiraiya of course, she isn't a fan of this and says that if the jutsu is actually meant for her, maybe she should be the one to name it. Minato agrees, and Kushina says she has just the right place to do so. She takes him up the staircase that we saw earlier in the flashbacks with Lady Mito, and Minato was even amazed that somewhere like this existed in the village. Once they're at the top, Kushina comes up with the perfect name for Minato's new jutsu, Rasengan, and the story ends there with a shot of Minato alongside the other Hokage faces. This was such a perfect way to end the story by alluding to Minato becoming the 4th Hokage one day, while also showing us how the Rasengan got its name. The Minato short story was nothing short of amazing, and I'm really glad that Kishimoto made it. Minato Namikaze is one of the most important characters in Naruto. More than just being the main protagonist's father, Minato's character is one of the most well written in the series. He wasn't without his faults. As much as he was thought of as a perfect shinobi, Minato failed and made mistakes as well. From being the mentor of my favorite character, who would cause so much pain and trouble for his son and the ninja world, to passing on his legacy to the one who would save the ninja world and bring about peace. It's no surprise that Minato was voted the winner for the popularity poll, as he's a character many people, myself included, have come to love. And because of this, Kishimoto was able to create a story that makes the legacy that Naruto's parents left him all the more meaningful. Thank you for watching.